Well, hello everyone. Hello, welcome. Welcome to our eBay Summer Seller Check-in. I think I maybe just got busted grooving out to our new music. If you've been here before, we changed the music. I hope you all loved it. Had a fun surfy vibe. I saw some people mentioning. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I know that you are tuned in from all over the country. Some of you might feel like you're in the weeds of summer. Others might feel like it's not even summer yet, technically, and it's all just beginning. Whatever your point of view, we are so excited that you're here today, and we hope that you leave here ready to make your summer a success. Now, if you have attended any of our other events, welcome back. So glad you joined us again today. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca Michaels, and I lead the U.S. Seller Community and Engagement Team. Now, let's start with a little bit of housekeeping to kick things off. There are a few different ways to watch today. Many of you right now are going to be on the Ring Central event platform. Welcome. But we're also really happy to say hello to our viewers from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram today. We want to be where sellers are, meet you where you are. So we are streaming this live on the other social platforms. And then for anyone who is tuning in on Facebook and Instagram, we have some customer support helping with the comments. But in order to ask questions and actually talk to the team that is here today to support, you have to come on into Ring Central using that QR code, that direction that you see over there on the side of the screen. Now, again, eBay teams are here on hand to answer questions. You're going to want to use the chat and the QA functions a little bit differently. QA is to get your questions answered by the teams that are here to support. The chat is so that you can talk to other sellers and just have that conversation and that connection that's so fun. So again, chat for those actual questions, and then Q&A for those actual questions, and chat just to hang out. And then finally, if you would like to turn on captions for the event, you can do so by clicking the CC button that is on the lower side of your screen, and that'll open a new frame where those captions will appear. So we love to connect with sellers in many ways. That's the work that my team does in seller community and engagement. And I want to talk today about eBay for Business on Facebook, which I know is a channel that a lot of you use. And I'm really excited to share that we are actually going to be combining the eBay for Business Facebook page and the eBay Facebook page. What does that mean? It means that we are going to be bringing the resources that you rely on for managing and growing your business on eBay and the information that you get on Facebook. But now you're also going to be able to see how we're reaching buyers in different ways and just be a part of the wider eBay conversation on social. Now, I want to promise you are going to get the same continued customer service support on the eBay page as you have been used to getting on the eBay for Business page. That's a promise from me. Let me know personally if you feel like you're not getting that same level of support. So starting next week, you're going to see the message on the screen. And I know that the question is going to come up already. What do you need to do? Nothing. We will take care of it. We're going to migrate you all on over in August. So keep an eye out on the eBay on Facebook page, for Business on Facebook page to get all the updates. And then in August, the actual eBay page is where you're going to go, and that's going to be combined. And then most importantly, don't forget that we do still have the eBay for Sellers on Instagram, which is staying seller only, and it's just for the selling community. It's where you're going to continue getting all of your specific seller only content. So you'll want to be on both places. Now so with that, that's the social update. Let's jump into the agenda that we have for you today. I'm going to kick things off with our up and running grants. It's up and running grant season. I hope that you've already heard, but if not, I'll tell you all about it. And I'm going to do an overview of how to get involved with the local seller meetings that are local to you. And we'll have lots of information about how you can start meeting with other sellers in your same area. Then we'll have Dawn Block with us to discuss product launches from the last few months. We also have a special guest here, Andrea Stairs, to talk about seller feedback. I know that that's a hot topic, and so that'll be a really interesting section. And then we're going to dive into the lightning rounds. The lightning round is where a team will come on and do a quick 5-minute presentation. If you have questions about the topic during the presentation, please use the Q&A to put in your questions. And then eBay seller Dalton Lanning of Salty Souls is going to join us. Dalton will be discussing product research, thrifting, and creating good listings. And then we're going to end the main session with a game. And of course, there will be prizes. So bring your A game to the game. And then finally, there will be a special announcement, something that's kind of a topic of interest in the community. One of my favorite parts of every single year. That's all the hints that I'm going to give. And then that will conclude the main stage event. After that, you guys can head into our breakout sessions, which are loaded with great info. I'll explain those breakouts at the end of the main session, just before we head into them, so you can choose then. But keep an eye out for that at the end. And then after all of that great content, there's networking. You can join rooms and talk to other sellers around important topics to you. So we have a great afternoon planned for you. Now, I promised to talk to you about Up and Running. And first things first is that tomorrow is the last day to apply for our 5th annual Up and Running Grants program. That's right. It's the last day. You still have time, but you're going to have to move fast. So listen, grab your phone. Scan the QR code. That's where you're going to go apply. Don't start applying now. Stay here, listen to the content today, but definitely, if you haven't yet, please go apply. So, okay, what is this grant program? I haven't explained it yet. You might like to know that it's an opportunity that you just don't want to miss, because it is, well, I'm going to roll a video, actually. I will have your other sellers tell you all about it.
I am absolutely delighted to let you know that you are a winner.
So we've actually already selected you as one of the winners for the $10,000 grant.
I get to let you know that you've actually been selected and you're a winner of one of our Up and Running grants. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I've never won anything like this.
Oh, it feels amazing, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Are you kidding me? You guys.
Thank you. Means a lot.
We recently hired Ukrainian refugees fleeing from the war, and so it definitely helps us, cover payroll and be able to expand our business.
Like the $10,000 would be like everything. I do donate a good portion of my earnings to charity. I sponsored another child today. She's from Guatemala.
I have a small little office, so a lot of my printer and scanner are pretty outdated, so I could use an upgrade in those categories.
So like I said, this is something not to miss. It's actually a pretty easy application. As I saw someone say in the chat, it's maybe an hour and it's $10,000. It's a grant, not a loan. And I encourage everybody to apply. I've read a lot of the applications, and you all have amazing stories. Tell us your story, and you might be one of the grantees. So at eBay, we are really huge on community. That's what my team focuses on every single day. And what better way to build your community and to network than with other eBayers? Seller meetings are regularly scheduled meetups that bring new and experienced sellers together to share tips and to build relationships. They're run by sellers like you, just regular sellers who love selling on eBay, have a passion to share. You don't have to be experienced to run a meetup. You just have to love selling on eBay and love bringing people together. There's more than 50 chapters around the US, and joining a chapter will surround you with like-minded small business owners and help create a platform to discuss relevant topics, exchange tips and tricks, maybe commiserate occasionally. And then also we send eBay swag to some chapter events here and there. And so you might have the opportunity to get some eBay swag when you participate in one of these meetings. Then again, if you are interested in launching a chapter in the area, you look around, one of those 50 isn't close enough to you, you can. It's a great way to, again, share that excitement that you have for selling and your passion. If you volunteer, you'll be added to an online group. There's training. There's actually community around being a meetup lead, a seller meeting lead. So please go ahead and raise your hand if you're interested. And finally, we promote those events for you. You don't have to get the word out all on your own. sellerevents.ebay.com is the page to go to, and we help promote those events. So go ahead and browse that page to see what events are in your local area, or raise your hand if you want to start one yourself. And with that, that's a whole big coverage of what's going on in the eBay community. And now I'm going to pass it over to Dawn, who's going to talk you through some of the product launches from this quarter. I'll be back soon.
Hi, sellers. It's great to be here with all of you. And I want to acknowledge how grateful we are that you've taken time from your busy schedules to join us today. Everyone has so many things to do with their time and their day. So thank you for joining us. Before we jump into the product launches, I wanted to touch on news that you might have seen about eBay and American Express. Yesterday, sellers and buyers that have American Express as a form of payment for seller fees or for buying received an email letting them know that as of August 17th, eBay will not be accepting American Express. This is frankly due to the unacceptably high fees that American Express charges for processing credit card transactions. So what does this mean for our customers? We know that the majority of our customers have more than one payment option in their wallet. So they will still be able to seamlessly check out using other payments like Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and other forms of payments like PayPal. And importantly, for you as sellers, if you have an American Express within your payment method, please update for selling costs as of August 17th to ensure a smooth transition. You can pick from a wide variety of other payment options, which include checking accounts, debit cards, and other credit cards such as Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. You'll have plenty of time to make this change, and there will be more exciting news for payments this month, so be sure to keep an eye out. Now let's jump in to highlight some of those recent product launches that Rebecca was just promising. Let's start out with how we are bringing buyers to sellers. In April, we launched Shop the Look. Shop the Look uses AI to curate personalized outfits for buyers. We designed Shop the Look to evolve with the tastes and habits our customers are using, and we're taking cues from their shopping habits. Their style recommendations are made up of images and items that are personalized, ensuring a tailored fashion experience. But how does this benefit sellers? It allows users to visualize how potential additions will complement their current wardrobe. This enables buyers to shop confidently. Next, Buy It Now has been added to member-to-member messaging global for all sellers. Our vision is not just to enable conversations between buyers and sellers, but to help provide tools to facilitate them. Once a conversation starts between a buyer and a seller, there should be no reason to leave the conversation to complete anything associated with that transaction. Last year, we launched the ability to make an offer in messaging, which allowed both buyers and sellers to negotiate pricing for qualifying items. We know that buyers who message sellers have a higher likelihood of converting to a sale. So we wanted to take it a step further and add a Buy It Now button within messaging to help encourage purchases at any point during the conversation. Lastly, item reviews have been enabled within the seller feedback intake form. This means when an item is eligible for a review, a buyer can leave their item rating and seller rating simultaneously. Rating items allows eBay products to be discovered more easily when a buyer starts their search in an external search engine such as Google. This applies to eligible listings, particularly those that have an eBay product page and are sold in multiple quantities, as opposed to unique one-of-a-kind items. As a result, both seller feedback and product reviews will be visible on the listing page for these items. For sellers, this is an opportunity to demonstrate your exceptional customer service and to emphasize the quality of the products you offer. Speaking of feedback, we know that feedback has been a hot topic in the seller community, and many questions have been asked about where we are going with feedback and why the recent changes have happened. So today, I wanted to invite Andrea Stairs, VP of Global Regulatory, Trust, and Monetization, here to give you an update about feedback.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Don. And first, hi, sellers. It's been a while, but I am so happy to be here with you today. I think I used to be in these sessions very frequently when I was leading the community in the US. But over the last 18 months, I've taken on a couple different roles. I led international markets for a little bit, and most recently, I have taken on a new role leading monetization, trust, and our regulatory response. And so I'm here today to talk to you with my trust hat on, and as Don mentioned, to talk about feedback. So first of all, I know that recently the changes we've made to feedback, and particularly to negative and neutral feedback removal, have caused frustration in the community, because in some cases they've made it harder to have feedback removed in situations where you should have been protected. My team and I have been listening to your concerns, and I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts. They're very direct, but they're very helpful. And I also want to acknowledge how important feedback and the whole feedback system is to all of us in the eBay community. I know that you all work extremely hard, exceptionally hard, to earn and keep high positive feedback ratings, and that is very important to you as you run your businesses, and to us as we manage the overall community. We agree that feedback should be fair and transparent to both buyers and sellers so that it can create and support trust in our platform. And trust in eBay is one of the most critical foundational elements that allows the marketplace to continue and to thrive. So what I want to do today is walk through some of the changes we've made, why we made them, and what we're doing to address some of the concerns that you've raised. Let me start by going back in time a little bit. Last year, we realized that our feedback removal policies had a certain degree of arbitrariness to them. It was making things quite inconsistent in terms of when feedback was being removed. And so we were creating some unfair experiences, both for our buyers and our sellers. We began to work to create a more streamlined and consistent process for sellers to ask for feedback removals that didn't depend on who you were, how you asked, or when you asked for the feedback to be removed. So that all seems very reasonable. But as we made those changes, what we found was that we had gaps in our underlying policies, so that some of the feedback removal requests were then getting rejected in situations where we really ought to be protecting you, the sellers. My team and I have been very seized by this, and we take full responsibility for these gaps, obviously. And we've been working really hard on making updates to the policy to address these gaps where feedback removal should be granted. In fact, we have more than a dozen policy changes queued up to take effect in the coming days, and we're also dedicating staff to finding and investigating more inconsistencies. What this means for you is that when you submit the form via Seller Help to request feedback removal, the team will be able to remove feedback in more scenarios and do so more consistently. And we're going to be adding more use cases where feedback removal is warranted. As an example, we'll be removing feedback when a seller denies a buyer's negative feedback that occurs when a seller denies a buyer's cancellation request. Because per our policy, you as a seller have discretion to accept or deny a cancellation request. And so if you get negative feedback on that basis, it should be removed. While we continue to evolve our feedback policies to make sure that both buyers and sellers have a safe and fair marketplace, we also want to be much more transparent with you, our community, about the changes we're making. So again, I want to thank you for your partnership and your honest and unfiltered comments about feedback. We do really want them to keep coming. We want your input, and we want to make sure that our updates make sense, are easy to understand, and protect both buyers and sellers. It's been great to be back here with you today. Thank you for being part of the community and for welcoming me. I promise I'll come back, and now I'll hand things back over to you, Don.
Yeah. I know this has been a pain point for a while, so I'm so glad that you could join and come here today and give us a quick update. And please continue to share your points of view with us, whether through filling out the surveys, posting in the community, or taking advantage of many of the channels for seller input. We listen and appreciate everything you share with us. Now it's time for the lightning rounds. I'm going to pass it over to Renee Morin, our Chief Sustainability Officer. Pay close attention. It maybe will come up during the game today.
Hi, everyone. Renee Morin here. Thanks so much for having me. I think this is my second or third seller engagement, so really excited to be back. And I am here to talk about Recommerce. So as a sustainability officer, one of the main parts of my job is really focused on Recommerce within eBay. So I'm especially excited to share with you the results from our latest Recommerce report and also the launch of our first Recommerce day. The data that I'll share today, legal made me say this. The data that I shared today will be from our 2024 Recommerce report, but you can also find it on ebayinc.com/recommerce-report, or just go to ebayinc.com and you can find it by scooting around a bit. So to start with, we actually surveyed more recipients this year than ever before. So 16,000 folks around the world responded to our survey about Recommerce. And we really wanted to dig in a bit more about the why behind Recommerce. The good news is that our findings continue to show that Recommerce, the buying and selling of pre-loved goods, is still growing. So on the next slide, so to that point, 77% of eBay customers say buying pre-loved has become more common in recent years, which is really a great trend to see. This year, we also looked into those motivations, that why that I was talking about, not just the what. And while the news of the day can often seem a little overwhelming and negative, what we're seeing is that consumer sentiment is telling us we're at an inflection point. Almost 2/3 of the consumers responded say they are reevaluating what is important in my life. And that's actually related to Recommerce. People said the primary reason why they're buying pre-loved is to save money where they need it, so they can spend it elsewhere on things that they love. And secondly, important to my job as well, is for the sustainability benefits. Even if you're buying something because it's a little less expensive and you don't think about the sustainability benefits, they're still there. And so we'd love to see that happen. And also our younger demographics of Gen Zs, millennials, they're showing consistently that they care about the health of our planet overall. And they're some of the primary participants in Recommerce. And on the next slide, and getting into that why, the feels of it all, almost half of consumers agree that shopping pre-loved makes me feel like a better person. You're like, well, what does that mean? So some of the reasons being like, I found this really cool, unique item that I've been looking for. It gave me the special little chart that you get when you find that something special, but also because they're supporting small businesses. And of course, at eBay, that is something we definitely love to see. On the next slide, I've talked a bit about motivations for buyers and buying, but what are sellers seeing? So 50% of sellers reported an increase in selling pre-loved goods compared to 1 to 5 years ago. So again, that trend keeps going up. And the primary reason is to make extra cash. Also really important for buyers and sellers in being able to invest that money in places where they want it to go. And what's really remarkable also is that almost 80% of sellers started on eBay by selling pre-loved goods. We were really surprised to see that, but the proof is in the numbers. In our last earnings, we announced that 40% of our GMV, which is our global merchandise volume, is from Recommerce. And what about the day itself? This is the next slide. So for our first Recommerce day ever, which was May 21st, we ended up partnering with actor and sustainability advocate Alicia Silverstone, also I would say the star of one of my favorite movies, Clueless, to help promote the importance of buying pre-loved. We also took over the ebay.com homepage. So there was Recommerce all over the homepage, leading you to more and more information that you could find out about Recommerce, as well as multiple live streams or eBay live auctions that were participated in by over thousands of people all day long. And additionally, both the state of California and the city of San Jose, where eBay's headquarters is, introduced resolutions to officially recognize May 21st as Recommerce Day going forward. So this won't be our last one. We're looking forward to the one that's going to be coming next year. And in a nutshell, I would say this is the era of Recommerce, and Recommerce is here to stay. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Renee. It's first off, it's so exciting that we're able to create holidays. Isn't that so cool? Well, I'm Jacob with the ads team. First off, it's so great to see so many names and familiar faces, within the chat. Great to see you all. I'm over on the ads team and run on the advertising partnership side. I just want to quickly call out, I was so excited as a seller. You could see my background. I had my first $1,000 sale weekend over Memorial Day. But let me talk a little bit about ads. So one of the things that's really exciting that we do within advertising is we collect a lot of really great data. What are our buyers doing on the site? And we go out and want to make sure that information is disseminated and available to you as our sellers. And so we went and did a lot of research as to what's happening to our buyers in summer. We looked at last year and to see all these exciting trends. Now, one of the most things that you would kind of think to yourself is, well, what are people buying in summer? They're buying things that are outside. They're going out and doing these things that, we do during the summertime. All of that's true, and the data proves it. And that's great. That's great information to obviously have. But we want you to action and take items, to the next level when it comes to this data. Go in there and realize, hey, I see that obviously people are going to we see higher searches for things like umbrellas, all those outdoor things, the swimsuits, all that fun stuff for activities that people are doing. We want you to get those items live on eBay. We want you to know that the traffic is there and people are looking for it. Let's take advantage of that. Let's make sure that we have that inventory up and ready at the right time. Now, one of the most important things when it comes to getting that inventory not only just live and following all the best practices to make sure it's showing up, is to make sure you get the visibility. And that's where ads wants to be available and help out. So if we look at that next slide, it's going to talk a little bit about the different options that are available to you. Now, we've been running promoted listings for quite a while now, and it's so exciting that the promoted listings tool is able to get you some of that different traffic up upon search and the rest of the site. I want to call out that a brand new hot off the presses opportunity is that our promoted listing standard is available to auction format as well. And so it's just one of those things that if you are running auctions, that you can run that cost per sale advertising and get opportunities to have your auctions show up high within search and other places on the site. But I also want to talk about, you can see that beta on the right-hand side, which is talking about offsite ads. Now, you may be familiar with this and been part of the beta. You may not be yet. Stay tuned. You may get access to that soon. But what it is that we are giving sellers the opportunity to push additional marketing off of eBay to your eBay listings. And so what that means is that when you put your budgets into the eBay system through offsite ads, we will take that budget and invest it into platforms like Google for you. Once that's done, it will then specifically within Google Shopping and our other channels show directly, specifically your inventory to get more buyers' attention. And so we not only want to get the traffic from the eBay ecosystem, but drive more interested parties into eBay and specifically onto your inventory. And so with that, we again always want to recommend that dive into your seller hub and take advantage of that way to get more impressions and opportunities onto your listings. And so with that, I'm going to pass it over to Shay, but I really appreciate your time and appreciate seeing you in chat.
Hello. It's a great event here today so far. This is my first seller check-in. I wasn't really sure what to expect. What a great event, and want to give thanks to this team for including Fitment Plus in today's presentation. A little bit about me. I've been with eBay for a little over a year and a half now. We joined the motors team, more specifically parts and accessories, when eBay acquired our family of companies. This acquisition included a company named Fitment, and my role has been with Fitment for over 13 years. We were a small startup business, so we definitely understand the challenges that all of you sellers face, and we have based our business on helping sellers add vehicle compatibility to their online listings. So eBay has been a perfect fit for me. I really have been enjoying my time here and helping sellers. A little background on our company. We've been collectively doing this for over 20 years. My Fitment was founded over 13 years ago with the intention of providing an affordable and easy to use solution for parts and accessory sellers. Listings with Fitment not only sell better, but have substantially fewer returns. When buyers can shop by their specific vehicle, it increases buyer confidence and trust that they have the right parts the first time. Since our acquisition, we have been rapidly scaling up to meet the needs of many sellers. We had previously offered our basic tools as an affordable subscription plan. But with there being so many measurable benefits to having vehicle fitment on seller listings, eBay has opted to provide the tools free of charge. Thus, a new free eBay Fitment plan called Fitment Plus was created. The plan includes our full suite of fitment authoring management tools and is available to all parts and accessories sellers. Adding fitment has historically been a complex process. Vehicle fitment compatibility standards have existed for a long time, but due to the cost and complexity, having vehicle fitment on your listing has been mostly a benefit for larger companies and sellers that could afford this. Fitment Plus focuses on removing as many of these costs and complexities as possible. We make fitment compatibility easy. We will also be hosting a breakout session later today. If you're interested in learning more about fitment and seeing our tool in action, the number of tools that we have is too vast to list today. I will move on to what our most popular feature is, and that's our Fitment Plus catalog. So over the years, we've compiled an extensive vehicle compatibility catalog that continues to add thousands of new vehicle brands and manufacturer part numbers daily. For the do-it-yourselfer, adding catalog fitment to your listings is fast and easy with our tool, but we now offer a new automated service that allows sellers to opt into automated catalog coverage. The tool will literally do the work for you. It's like having your own fitment team for free, which 10 years ago was incredibly just unheard of. So by opting into fitment coverage, you will always have up-to-date vehicle fitment. If you have some fitment data and want to add more, or if you have zero fitment data, the Fitment Plus catalog can increase your fitment coverage. Increased fitment coverage means increased sales and fewer returns as your buyers buy from you with confidence and trust, knowing the parts they're buying fit their vehicle. The list of benefits is numerous. As you can see in the slide, we've done a lot in a short amount of time. In our year and a half here with eBay, we've pushed 5 billion plus vehicle fitments to eBay parts and accessory seller listings. That is millions of listings enhanced. Our sellers utilizing the vehicle fitment compatibility on their listings, on average, are seeing a percentage of sales performance uplift in double digits. I appreciate your time today and really stress to come and join our breakout later. That's not enough time to really explain what our tool does. Me and my colleague, Tristan Hadley, will be giving a demo and answering questions so you can get into the weeds with us on this and see the tool in action. Thank you so much for your time today.
And I'm back. Thank you, everyone, for all of those amazing updates. I really appreciate having everyone who joined us from around eBay being here. Saw a bunch of questions in the chat. The feedback session, I know, got a lot of chatter, and I want to say that the example Andrea gave about the specific policy that's changing, that's just one of many things that are being looked at. We didn't ask you here to tell you about just one thing that's changing. It's to let you know that that her team is aware and is thinking about many of the policies across feedback. Also, thanks for the My Fitment information. I hope everybody joins into that session as well. And then the Recommerce. Oh, everybody loved that branding, which I do too. I think it's really great. And Clueless fan here as well, have to admit it. So. Well, I want to let everybody know, if you want to go back and watch any of these sessions here, any of the sections that you're seeing, it is being recorded. The replay will be available immediately right here on Ring Central, where we're watching this right now. And then it'll be up on the eBay for Business YouTube channel within a couple of days. So you can go ahead and rewatch it, either of those two places. Now, of course, we call it a seller check-in, and what kind of seller check-in would it be if we didn't hear directly from a seller? So I'm going to turn it over now to Michelle Warble, VP of the Seller Experience team, and she's going to do an interview with Salty Souls. All right, Michelle, over to you.
Thank you for being here. Very excited to talk with you today. I, as Rebecca said, am the Vice President of Product for Seller Experience. And so our team works across many different teams at eBay to improve platforms, tools, technology, and we get to participate in these events too, which is really great so that we can listen directly from you and get a lot of feedback. But today I was brought here to introduce someone else. We're going to do a seller check-in today. So I'm going to introduce Dalton Lanning. Dalton is a longtime seller on eBay. He sells high-end shoes and has a store with us called Salty Souls. I love that name. He is a big-time media influencer. You may know him for his handle at Dealing with Dalton. I looked at his TikTok today. He has 2.1 million likes, which I will never have in my lifetime. But welcome, Dalton. I don't see you up here yet, but see you in the chat. There you are. Hi.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So let's just start with the basics. Tell us like how you started on eBay, when you started on eBay, and what's your journey to how you got to today.
Sure. So as you mentioned, my name's Dalton. I'm 27. I live in Orlando, Florida. Again, as you mentioned, me and my wife sell shoes as our primary income on eBay specifically. I got started on eBay probably, well, taking it seriously. I've been selling like a thing here or there for probably, I don't know, since high school. And in like 2017, I was working as a server, and on the weekends as a way to, you know, make some extra money and have a little fun doing it, me and a friend of mine decided to start going to garage sales to flip stuff onto eBay. And we quickly realized the potential in that. And over the course of like the next year or so, I realized that my favorite item to sell was shoes. I branched out into going to like flea markets and thrift stores and really dialed in on selling shoes. Created the systems and things to treat it more like a business and less like a little weekend hobby. And after getting let go from my job not too long after, I lost focus on it and put more focus on my eBay store, decided to go full time. And, it's 5 years later and we're still doing it.
Wow, that's amazing. No more serving. No more serving. Home with the greasy. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that feeling. What was your first thing? What's the first thing you sold on eBay?
I want to say it was either like a DVD or a video game. It was something that I just had in like high school when I was just like listing things up just to get some extra money. But it was like a DVD or a video game or something like that.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I was like scouring through your posts and I saw we recently launched product research, previously known as Terapeak, on mobile. And you had a really fun comment in the chat of like, thank God it's here. I no longer have to bookmark my way all the way to get research. Tell us like how you use product research in your day to day.
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, if you're watching this, there's a good reason to engage with eBay's seller page, because I left a comment on Instagram and like a week later, I'm at seller check-in. So engage with eBay on Instagram. I use the product research tool in two main ways when I'm researching products. And most of that is done on the go, like at thrift stores or flea markets. The main way that I use it is through, if I come across a pair of shoes that's a little bit more rare, or just maybe something that's not currently on the market to the point where there's a bunch of eBay listings that I can, compare it to. There's maybe not much sold data. Using the product research tool, I can go back 2 years, even filter down to like the condition of the shoe, the size of the shoe, all of that, and see how well it's selling and for what prices it's selling for. And as you mentioned, for a while now, I just had like a Safari bookmark tab saved to my homepage, and I'd have to log in every single time I clicked on it. It was a long process. But so having it in the app has saved a ton of time on that front. And the other way that I use it is on, say, like a shoe, like this is completely opposite end of the spectrum. Say a shoe that is a lot more popular and there's a lot that's on the market. We'll just use like an Air Max 270, for example. I can go into the product research tool and type in Nike Air Max 270. Say I'm looking at a brand new pair of shoes. It's a men's shoe. I can filter it by men's category, filter it by brand new, and it will give me the average sold price for every Air Max 270 over the past 2 years, 1 year, 90 days. So that can give me at a glance an easy purchasing decision, because with stuff that's a lot more popular, you get more people that are just kind of selling something out of their closet and they might sell it for a lot cheaper. So having an average sale price is really beneficial when, finding out how much I can pay for an item.
Yeah, the high-end stuff and the stuff that's in high demand. That's great. Yeah, we are always listening. And speaking of which, like any feedback we have, I know a lot of people have been using the tool. We've been getting lots of great feedback, but we've got lots of iterations of product research coming down the line. But on that note, I know you do a lot of showcasing on your channels, Instagram, TikTok, on your finds and when you're going to different garage sales and Goodwill, but also you help other sellers know, like, how do you make a good listing? I think you said the scroll stopping listing, scroll stopping listings, get people to stop and look and get the eyeballs. I loved you had like before and after pictures on your one post, which is like really clear. It's like night and day. But tell me, like, what's your checklist or your advice to people to make sure that they got these listings that are really going to move?
Yeah. So the number one most important thing when it comes to getting your items to sell, in my opinion, is the pictures, and more specifically the cover photo. I think that the most important aspect of those pictures is the lighting. So if you don't have like some fancy lighting set up, just go outside. The sun is a free, natural, great light source. So just having something that's well lit is one of the most important aspects of getting someone to stop scrolling whenever they are looking for a new pair of shoes or whatever it is. I'll use shoes as an example, because that's what I sell specifically, but every product has an angle that is its best photographed angle, if that made sense. So if I'm shopping on eBay, I'll see a lot of shoe listings that are photographed from like the toe or from the top. But then if you go to like major retailers' websites or shopping on eBay on some more professional storefronts, most of them photograph from the side perspective at about like eye level, so you can get an idea of what that item looks like. And there's a reason that they do that. It's the easiest way to look at that picture at a glance and see what it is that you are looking at. And every item has that angle, whether it's a t-shirt or a video game or whatever it is. Just go see how retailers photograph it and try to mimic that angle when you're putting that listing together on eBay. But then outside of the actual photos, putting the listing together properly is also really important, because, as you know, eBay has a search algorithm. So if you're not ranking in that search algorithm, you're not going to be in the scroll to stop it in the first place.
Right.
So making sure that all of your item specifics are properly filled out, and you filled out as many as you can that and putting together a proper title. I know that eBay has a page. I'm not sure what it is, but if you Google it, I'm sure you can find it. eBay has a page that has their recommended title structure for pretty much every category, with shoes, brand first, the style second, the size third, and then keywords after that. And if you structure your title like that, it gives it a better opportunity for the algorithm to know what it is you're selling and put it in front of potential buyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And bad titles too, right? Like putting too
correct.
much in the title, it does the exact opposite. Yeah, that's great. I also saw in your posting you had what is the thing called you put in the shoe to kind of
Yeah,
make
shoe
it
trees.
shoe trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what is like retailers have been doing this all day long, but that's been a big help too, right?
Yep. And if you don't have shoe trees and you sell shoes, you can go to dealingwithdalton.com. I actually provide them. So
Okay. There you go. Little plug. Another big thing, obviously, with shoes and the kind of finds you get is being authentic, right? And I know you already have an eye for that. I saw in one of your videos, you could see the Jumpman and the logo is just a little bit off, and you put that back. I could never see that. But how have you used like authenticity guarantee and just making sure that you're obviously giving the right product and a real product to your customers?
Yeah, I obviously I'm still no authenticity expert, but I have come across a ton of shoes. So seeing small subtle things like quality issues or logo issues is a huge tell obviously when you look at the shoes. But also with authenticity guarantee, I mean it's clear that there's the majority of the shoes that you come across on eBay, since you're not allowing inauthentic shoes to go through the authentication service. Most of the shoes on eBay are going to be authentic. So I can assume that every listing, like if I'm doing product research and I click on a listing that's authenticity guarantee, and say I have like a pair of Nikes in front of me, I can pull up the tag on another eBay listing that has authenticity guarantee attached to it. And I can compare like the UPC, and there's like little, subtle things with the tag, like the production dates and things like that. So comparing things with other listings on eBay makes it a little easier to self-authenticate. And then obviously with anything that I question, there's third-party authentication services that I definitely use before posting them on eBay.
Yeah, that's very cool. I never thought about using our own listings to do that. I can't believe I'm going to ask this question, but like it's summertime. It's sunny in Portland, Oregon today. And shout out to my Oregonians out there, eBay community. But and you're in Florida, so I know it's hot.
Oh yeah, it's real hot.
It's to be hot. Yeah. But holiday season's coming, and we're all retailers. So like, how are you thinking about getting ready for holiday and for that big push? I'm sure it's a big time for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely holiday season is a very busy time. If you're looking to stock up on, especially if you're in like fashion, like clothing and shoes, stuff that's out of season, you can get cheaper that out of season, right? So like if you stock up on boots and more winter style shoes during the summer, you're preparing yourself for those winter months when that's what everybody's looking for. So just taking advantage of like, whether it's online sales or in-person sales, a bunch of these retailers don't like to hold on to product for months, so they'll clearance out all the old off-season stuff. And as eBay sellers, we can take advantage of that if it's something that we can hold on to for a few months, waiting for the weather to cool down. I think there's a huge opportunity in that.
Yeah, that's true. And no one's buying winter boots in Florida right now, I guess.
Right.
Okay, one last question, which I have to ask. What was your best flip ever on eBay?
Okay. So I think technically the best flip that I've had is I found a pair of Alden dress shoes. They were Chukka boots. I found them in a small thrift store in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I sold those on eBay for $450. $400. It was $400 plus $50 to have it shipped internationally. So a total $450 sale.
Oh, wow.
And then my most expensive sale, I sold a pair of mountaineering boots, which if you're listening and you're looking for inventory, mountaineering boots are really expensive. And I found a pair at Goodwill. I had to pay up for these though. They were $200 at the store, but within 2 weeks, I sold them for $510 on eBay.
Did you hesitate at first? $200, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a little scary, but I mean, like we mentioned, product research, it tells you what's going to sell.
That's right. That's right. Well, awesome. Well, Dalton, thank you so much. This was so fun to just chat with you a little bit, get your tips and tricks. Everyone subscribe, go to IG, TikTok at Dealing with Dalton. And maybe you want to just give a plug for your store real quick. I bought something this morning too, by the way. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. What you want to give the last plug where they can find you?
Yeah. So my eBay store is salty-souls FL. FL stands for Florida, and Souls is SOULS. like the sole of a shoe.
Yes, not my soul. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are back in eBay Open season, and eBay Open 2024 is right around the corner.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
You guys look great in your eBay outfits.
Hello, eBay sellers.
My favorite part about eBay Open is meeting with our amazing seller community.
My favorite part of the eBay community is the amount of diverse people that I've met here at eBay Open.
We have learned from the eBay community different tips and business practices that we want to share and pay it forward to other eBay businesses.
I always learn so much from my fellow sellers.
I go for the updates and to see what eBay is doing.
I hope you'll join me and other sellers at eBay Open this year.
I'm so excited. Yay, Open. We're back in the groove. Dawn, are you excited?
I am thrilled. I absolutely, I can't wait to see eBay take the stage and share the new updates. And it's really my favorite part is interacting and seeing all the sellers. We will have seller sessions on inventory, sourcing, shipping, eBay for charity, product research, and even more. But the excitement, the camaraderie, the shared learning, it's truly the event is so full of positive energy. I think everyone leaves feeling inspired, and I personally can't wait for it.
I am 100% in agreement with you. I love eBay Open. It is so fun. For those of you who have been before, you know that it's days of content. And for those of you who have never been before, I promise it is totally worth your time. It is so fun and really informative as well. So everyone, you're invited to attend. The dates this year are going to be held on September 25th and 26th. That's our virtual event. That's the main event. Everybody mark your calendars to be right here in Ring Central again, to be at eBay Open. Here's what's great. You heard me talking about those seller meetings, those 50 seller meetings all around the country earlier. Well, we are partnering with our great community of seller meeting hosts to set up eBay Open kickoff parties all across the US. These events are going to allow you to get together with other sellers in your local area network and get excited about the days of content that are coming afterwards. So please keep an eye out on eBay for Sellers Instagram for more details and to find out when registration is opening up. That'll be coming soon.
And I want to thank all of our presenters today for showing up and contributing to the success of eBay, of this eBay community. And I can't wait to see you all at eBay Open.
Thanks, Dawn. I want to thank everyone out there, every single seller, for your time today. I know that there are many things you could be doing with your time, and you chose to spend it here with us today. It's time that you're investing in yourselves, you're investing in your business, you're investing in your community, and I hope that the latest news and updates were helpful. Again, we will be posting this as a replay on our YouTube, and you can watch it immediately here on Ring Central. Now, if you're watching live on YouTube and Facebook, the stream is about to end. But if you're logged in here in Ring Central, you'll have a couple minutes of a break, and then we'll transition over to those breakout rooms. And there are 4 topics for you today. The first one is eBay International Shipping Service. There's some updates there that if you ship internationally a lot, you'll want to check that out. And then we are going to have how to ensure summer success with eBay seller Sherry Smith. You might have heard me on her podcast pretty recently. And then backed by popular demand, our seller advocacy team will review some of the recent site updates and how you can effectively implement them into your business. That one's really helpful. There are folks who work actually on Michelle's team, and they have a lot of deep knowledge about how to use eBay. And then finally, it's the getting started session with Fitment Plus as promised. And if you sell anything at all automotive, or maybe you kind of want to break into that category, this is definitely a don't miss. And then finally, that's a lot of great options. If you can't decide which to attend, don't worry, because the replays for all of them will be available here on Ring Central, again, for immediate replay. So choose a breakout session that you want to interact with live and put questions and go in the chat. Maybe save the secondary one for later viewing. And then again, of course, everything will be on YouTube. So congrats to everybody who won the word scramble. We got really excited about eBay Open, but we didn't forget about you. And please remember to check your email. We'll be contacting the winners in the next couple of weeks. For an additional chance to get some eBay goodies, I want to let everybody know you're all eligible. You have to complete the survey. You're going to get an email right after the event. You have to complete the survey in the link in the email, and 300 survey respondents will be randomly selected to win that tote bag that was just there on screen with me. Remember, we really want to hear what you think. This is to encourage you to complete the survey, and those tote bags are great. I have hoarded at least 2 of them myself. So now we're going to be moving on to the breakout rooms, which start in, I know we're running late. It's probably in the next 2 to 5 minutes. So keep an eye on when those, when you see those things open up there on Ring Central. And then after the breakout sessions, join one of the networking rooms, get to know other sellers who maybe are in your area or are interested in a similar topic to you. And, just find the one that suits you best. With that, I will say thank you so much for being here. We're so excited that you joined us today, and we're really looking forward to the next time we'll be back, which is for eBay Open. Thanks, everyone.